Hey guys, it's Carrie Ann from Everything Mom. There seems to be this line I've noticed when it comes to how we treat kids. We know as they go through ages, there's a transition from each age. As a parent, we see there's gradual transitions as they develop skills and move on to the next step. But although we know there's these transitions, I think a lot of times we treat our kids like there's a wall between when they're kids and when they're sort of adults. And I don't know if it's sort of like when they reach a certain age. The mentality of us as parents, and I think as adults as a whole, tends to switch. Like our expectations change, which is fine. But I think as parents, we have to understand that we have to prepare our kids for that threshold change, and we can't sort of treat them as, children and protect them as children all the way up to that, magic number. And then when that happens, it's sort of like, okay, now you're an adult. A lot of times we as parents look at our kids as kids, that we're there to protect them, that kids, to use the expression, kids will be kids. They run around in restaurants because they can't sit still, or they push other kids in the playground because that's kids play, or they walk across the whole sidewalk because they're just not paying attention and you can't expect them to pay attention. For all of these things, I think we look at our kids as, they're kids. They can't be expected to understand and learn these things, which I think is unfair. But the bigger issue with that is at some point these kids turn into, as I said, they cross this threshold into where we and the world around them view them as adults, and there's this assumption that they should know. But a lot of times kids don't, because we as parents don't give them that opportunity, we don't give them that guidance. And sure, we will be guides by them observing our actions, like how we behave with other people, how we handle stress, how we deal with, rush hour traffic. The kids will pick up on some of these actions, but I think we also need to correct and provide those examples, give them the opportunity, learn by giving them a chance to order or ask the questions themselves when they're at a restaurant or a store instead of going through a parent. And we don't want to be too critical, but then when they're older, all of a sudden we change the rules and we say, well, that's wrong and you can't behave this way. It's kind of a mixed message we're giving to our kids, and I think we need to, as parents, take more ownership of how our kids do things, giving them those experiences and that knowledge firsthand, so that the transition to making these choices on their own, these decisions on their own in front of other people, that they can do it with confidence. They're not, being chastised because they didn't know. That's my all started with walking to work and encountering kids that wouldn't share the sidewalk, which led me to think about all these encounters, this belief that adults have of kids when they get to a certain point, which is great, except I don't think as parents we're preparing our kids that way. So you may disagree. I'd be curious to hear if you think kids are not being guided the way they should, or maybe I'm blowing this way out of proportion, but that's my thought. So certainly leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and that's Carrie Ann from Everything Mom, and I will chat in next time.